For quite a while now, we've been telling you that an exodus is on the way when it comes to animation. Careers are being slashed and cut, studios dropping, and by the end of the decade, we anticipate as much as 90% of jobs gone. After the strikes were over and creators thought they had won the day, artificial intelligence is on the way. And guess what? Even Kung Fu Panda 4, with an amazing, tremendous, astounding box office success, cannot stop the job cuts. Dreamworks laying off 50% of their workforce. There is no stopping the cratering of careers when it comes to Hollywood and animation. In spite of the fact the strikes were supposed to salvage those jobs and protect them, people are being let go left and right, even as they succeed day and night. Today we're going to show you just how bad it is and why Disney Animation Studios and Pixar might be following right behind Dreamworks in slashing jobs. Welcome back to the Pro Channel. It is a joy, as always, to have you here, even when we have a non-joyous story to tell. But we tell it because we tell the truth. Explaining entertainment, keeping you ahead of the culture curve, is what we do every day right here. This article that we start off with today by Anthony De Alessandro is a very positive, happy story. Kung Fu Panda 4, second weekend at $31 million plus, expected to karate chop the sandworm. And this is a good news story, but it has a bad news ending. Folks, if you want to understand just how scared folks must be for their careers in Hollywood, stick around. It says Universal DreamWorks Animation's Kung Fu Panda 4 is now looking to pull in ahead of legendary Warner Brothers' third frame of Dune Part 2. Excellent holds by both movies in a starved marketplace that's been beaten up by the strike. All in, that spells for a weekend where all picks are grossing around $92.4 million. Now here's where the bad news comes in. About the same result as the same weekend a year ago when Warner Brothers DC's Shazam! Fury of the Gods nosedived to a $30.1 million opening. Now why? How can that be? Well, it's because two films on their third weekends, even with good holds, are not able to outperform one major stinker. And Ghostbusters, The Frozen Empire, despite my sincere desire for it to be awesome, only pegged at doing $47 to $52 million in its domestic opening next weekend. So this may not get much better. And that is a real shame. We hope that Ghostbusters will outperform. But take a look at this. Kung Fu Panda 4 carrying franchise to $2 billion, says Forbes. Mark Hughes, the author here, says it's already inevitable. DreamWorks Animation's legacy sequel, Kung Fu Panda 4, will carry the animated family franchise to $2 billion and beyond at the worldwide box office. The film opened with almost $59 million domestic, the second biggest debut for the Kung Fu Panda series. And that's even in spite of Dune being there, taking up all the premium screens. So everybody at DreamWorks, everybody at Universal should be happy, 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 right? If you're happy and you know it, eat some noodles. Well, not so much. Here's the bad news, folks. Even as we are getting this excellent news, and remember, Kung Fu Panda has a production budget of $85 million. In other words, a third of what Disney typically spends on their animated films. And it's doing these gonzo numbers. And yet, the result is hundreds of DreamWorks staffers to be let go in the coming months. Ouch. This out of Cartoon Brew by Amid Amidi. DreamWorks Animation to significantly cut staff in coming months. Here's the article. It says DreamWorks Animation is firing on all cylinders right now. That's a double entendre if I ever saw one. It's looking to repeat first place with Kung Fu Panda 4 at the U.S. box office this weekend. This was written 2 days ago, and so yes, it did. It did repeat. And the newly released teaser for Chris Sanders' The Wild Robot was received with unbridled enthusiasm. But the mood inside of the iconic Glendale, California studio was glum this week as an untold number of workers were informed that they would be let go. This is sort of like, folks, think about it this way. This is sort of like how it's an election year right now, and every political news outlet out there should be firing on every cylinder, and yet they're firing news political journalists like crazy. And we're watching a tremendous number of online outlets go out of business. Vice, we're looking at you. And here is Cartoon Brew saying that the same thing is happening to Animators. So how can it be that we're watching some franchises. Well, basically all the non-Disney franchises. We'll leave migration out of this, but all of the other non-Disney animated franchises are performing very, very well, making bukus of dinero. So how can it be that we've got to fire the animators? Well, it all comes back again, folks, unfortunately, to artificial intelligence and to the fact that these studios are looking at what's coming, and they know they don't need as many people. They don't even need hardly any people to do that stuff in about 5 years. What's the gestation period on any animated feature film not named Moana? 3 to 5 years. Now, Moana 2, 6 months. We'll see how that goes. You all know my opinion on that one if you've watched the channel at all. The studio insists that no one is being laid off. It is, as Dreamworks Animation Chief Operating Officer Randy Lake put it a few months ago, an instance of downsizing through natural attrition, in which employment contracts are simply not being renewed. So, semantic game there, right? But no one's being given the pink slip. You're just not going to get another white slip to sign to stay with us. However, the sheer number of people whose contracts aren't being renewed has demoralized staffers and left many wondering about the future direction of the studio. While there are no specific numbers on how many people are being let go, the number is well into the hundreds. Many departments are being cut in half, and the creative staff on features could be reduced by as much as, if not more than 40 to 50%. And that, folks, is the headline. You have a movie on an $85 million budget, which is pushing its overall franchise tally over $2 billion. We're talking about ROIs like you can't believe. And there may be some out there who want to frame this as just pure greed. The C-suite over there at Universal, they're not willing to reward the folks who made this movie with careers and money. And no, that's not it at all. It is that all of these studios are recognizing, whether you recognize it yet or not, whether the mainstream recognizes it or not, they see what's coming. They see that they cannot operate with the same number of people as in the past because AI is going to wipe that out. They are going to be challenged by places like YouTubers with single or maybe up to 10 employees trying to make brand new content. And they've seen what it can do. They've seen that it can produce Pixar-level stuff. How else can you explain this? It defies all logic with any other explanation. The idea that a studio would perform so well with Kung Fu Panda 4, with Wild Robot on the way. Do we need to keep going? They're going to reinvigorate and bring back the Shrek franchise. They're doing well. Pixar is not. Disney Animation Studios is not. They're doing well, though. Dreamworks doing great. And yet, half of the workforce in your departments are being let go. Half? Come on, folks. That's not sustainable. That's in a normal situation, you can't fire half the people in your job. Imagine if where you work, half the people were fired and told to still do the same stuff. Come on. And you might say, well, they're just going to flush out the contracts. They're going to bring back new people. At a time, seriously, at a time when you are generating returns off of an $85 million production budget, and you're having these kinds of returns, you would want to drop off the institutional knowledge and wisdom that made that happen? No, they don't want to become Disney. That's not what's happening here, folks. There's a paradigm shift on the way, and all of these studios know it. And that's why Disney is already beginning to make the shift as well, moving animation for Moana 2 to Vancouver, because they also know they have got to begin the cut. And the cuts will be painful. They will be severe. Half the workers at Dreamworks being given not the pink slip apparently, but the you're not coming back slip. It's a sad way to celebrate Kung Fu Panda 4, which is a very successful film at the box office, very successful for shareholders, very successful for viewers, watchers, and families. Jack Black with yet another phenomenal delivery. It's beginning to look like it's a battle. It's a battle between Chris Pratt and Jack Black for who's going to be the most dominant voice actor in animated films, right? We've got Chris Pratt in just about every cartoon there is. Now we've got Poe and we've got Bowser, both being played by Jack Black. Who knows what they'll play next, but audiences love them, so they'll get more gigs, even if the animators do not. Folks, that is the video for today as we explain entertainment and keep you ahead of the culture curve. Sorry, it could not be a more fantastic one and favorable to those who have done well. Some think we just want to be negative about Hollywood here, but that's not the case. When they do well, we want them to receive their well-earned rewards. And for Dreamworks and Kung Fu Panda 4, this was a great win. We wish that the people who made this were getting the win in their careers, but artificial intelligence is coming, new tools coming, and they don't need the same workforces, and we're beginning to see the industry shift in that direction. So we hate it for everybody losing their jobs, especially because there's almost nothing more painful than to do something extremely well and to be rewarded with a loss. That is, and that take that home, folks, because that's something you can remember in your own life. One of the most painful things you can go through is when you do the right thing and you receive the wrong thing as a result. Really, really hurts, really damages people. So perhaps if you are in a position now in your life to reward those who do well, maybe consider doing that. Maybe you've not been thinking that through fully with your children, with your spouse, with your loved ones. Reward them when they do well. Be kind, be good, and uplifting to everybody. All right, folks, that is the video for today. Like, share, subscribe, click it, stick it to the algorithms, hit the notification bell. Drop a comment down below and let us know what do you think about the utter exodus that is coming to animation. We are very interested in what you think about it, especially given that basically nobody is talking about how this is an industry-wide phenomenon and it's about to become a giant tsunami. Over the next 10 years, I anticipate that up to 90% of those working in animation will likely no longer be needed. I'm not sure that's a good thing. In fact, I doubt that it's a good thing very much, but it's inevitable at this time, it would seem. All right, folks, if you have not yet done so, share this out on your favorite social medias, and as we always say at the end of these, wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep learning, keep growing, and as always, keep having fun.
No, hey Florel, what you doing? Thinking about Rome?
No, I wasn't. But thanks. Now I lost the game.
Dang it. Now I lost the game. No. Well, now you're a double loser.
Hey guys, you know what would help you in your grief? Forgetting those things and filling your mind with articles from thatpartplace.com and using that website as a launching pad to get you lost in thought with all of the team from there.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea.
Yeah. Oh, well, Flora, would you look down here?
I hate you.